So last week we started this topic, electric current, how we define electric current or current. Basically, the current, it's the flow of the charges or rate of flow of the charges. Means how many charges are moving from one point to another in a circuit in 1 second. We call that as electrical current. And the SI unit of the current is ampere. It is denoted by A. There are other units. It can be milliampere. It can be microampere as well, but the SI unit is amperes. The current, because it is a flow of the charges, so it can be a conventional or it can be electron flow. So if it's a conventional, the conventional is from positive to negative. So you have, say, a lamp is there and you connect this lamp with the battery. So if a question is draw an arrow to show the direction of the current or direction of the conventional current. For a cell, the big line is representing the positive terminal of the cell and the small line is representing a negative terminal of the cell. So if you want to show the direction of the conventional current, so conventional current is from positive to negative. And if you have a question like we have to show the direction of electron flow, then the direction of electron flow will be opposite, that is from negative to positive terminal. So rate of flow of the charges or number of the charges which are moving through a circuit in 1 second, we call that as electrical current. So as you can see, this is a cell, the positive terminal of the cell and the negative terminal. So if you want to show the direction of conventional current, the conventional current will be from positive to negative. But if you want to show the direction of electron flow, so the direction of electron flow is from negative terminal to the positive terminal. In reality, electrons are moving. But whenever they say current or conventional current, you will always take from positive to negative. Reason why we are still using this sign convection is because these electricity laws are derived on the basis on assumption that the actual movement is from positive to negative, so still they are following this conventional current. Then current in a circuit, as we discussed last week, there are two types of circuits. We have a series circuit. Series circuit means there's only one way for the charges to move. And we have parallel circuit. Parallel circuit means we have multiple ways for the charges to move. So example, we have two lamps connected in series to each other and two lamps connected in parallel to each other. Series means for the charges, there's only one way to flow, where parallel means there are multiple ways, multiple paths for the charges to flow. The parallel circuits have advantage. What is the advantage? The devices, the component will work independently. Means if one of the component is faulty, the other component will continue to work without any interruption. But in series, if one of the component is faulty, the other component will stop working. So we have a positive and negative terminal. And whenever we show the direction of the current, we always take the conventional current, which is from positive to negative, even though they did not mention like, but you have to always consider the conventional current. Now, when we represent the conventional current here, which is from positive to negative, so in series circuit example, if 2 ampere, what is the meaning of 2 ampere? It means 2 coulomb of the charge is moving in 1 second. That's the meaning of 2 ampere. So in series, if for example 2 ampere enter the circuit, 2 coulombs or of a charge is moving in 1 second. So same 2 coulomb will flow through each component in 1 second, and that will return. So in series circuits, the current is always same in each component, because the number, they have only one passage. Like in the beginning, 2 coulomb is moving in 1 second. So same 2 coulomb will flow through lamp 1 and same 2 coulomb will flow through lamp 2. So all the parts within the circuit, all the parts will have the same current. So whenever you have a series circuit, the current throughout the circuit will remain same. But what about parallel? Like example, if 2 ampere is entering, now as the 2 ampere enter, the moment it reach this point, a junction or intersection, so what will happen? Now the current has two paths to flow. So some of the current will flow through path 1. Like example, if I say 1 ampere flow through the first path, so how much remaining current? Out of 2, 1 ampere is left, and that will flow through the other part. So 1 ampere, this is also 1, and when it return 1 ampere, 1 ampere, so the total 2 ampere will return. So the total current which enter the circuit is always same as the total current leaves the circuit, but between the components in parallel, the current will divide between the components present in the circuit. This division, it's not necessary that this division will be equal. Like example, if 1 ampere is flowing through lamp 1, same 1 ampere should flow through lamp 2. It can be unequal division. It depends on the property which called resistance. So if a component is having a high resistance, a small amount of current or the charges will be able to flow through it. If component is having a low resistance, greater amount of charges or greater number of charges can flow through it. So basically what happened, if we have say 2 ampere, when it enter, because it has two paths to flow, so if some of the current is following the path 1, the remaining current will flow through path 2. And same thing, because 1 ampere and 1 ampere join again, so this will make 2 ampere. So the characteristic of a current in a circuit, in series circuit, the current is always same, but in parallel circuit, the current will divide between the components. So example, if we have 3 components, connected in series, so if 3 components are connected in series, this one is a positive terminal, a negative terminal. So what is the direction of the current, or the conventional current is from positive to negative. This one is lamp 1, lamp 2, lamp 3. If 3 ampere is coming out from the battery, how much current enter lamp 1? What will be the current entering lamp 1? That will be 3 ampere. Same thing, when it passes through lamp 1, The current will pass through LAMP2. How much current will be there passing through LAMP2? 3 ampere. And what about LAMP3? So the same 3 ampere. And how much will return? So same 3 ampere will return. So current in series circuit is always same. It is independent of the type of a component connected in the circuit. So the total current which enter the series circuit is same as the total current which is passing through each component in the circuit. But if it was a parallel combination, three lamps were there connected in parallel to each other, as well as with the battery. The conventional current is from positive to negative. So example, this line is the big line of a cell or a battery. This is a cell. If we have multiple cells together, we call that as a battery. So big line is representing a positive terminal. Small line is representing a negative terminal. Example, 4 ampere is coming out from the battery. 2 ampere is passing through this component. 1.5 ampere is passing through the second component. So this one is lamp 1, lamp 2, and lamp 3. Look, if 4 ampere is passing through this, out of 4, 2 ampere passing through lamp 1, how much current will be here, this part? What will be the current in this branch? So it will be 2 ampere because the total is 4 out of 4. If 2 is passing through one branch, remaining 2 is passing through the other branch. Then out of 2, 1.5 is out of 2, 1.5 is moving through lamp 2. How much current will be there in lamp 3? So that's equal to half or 0.5 ampere. And then, so basically, how much current is entering? 0.5. 0.5 from here in this branch and 1.5 which is moving through lamp 2. What will be the current at this point? It will be 2. And 2 from L1, L2 and L3 and 2 ampere from L1. How much current will move through return back to the battery? So same 4 ampere will return back to the battery. So basically the total current enter is always equal to total current leave the circuit, but between the branches the current will divide. But you may have a circuit, is it clear till now? The series and the parallel circuits, the current in a series and current in parallel circuit. Then you may have a so resistance is another quantity. By calculation, we will show what will be the current in each branch. But right now, we are only discussing the theoretical circuits in which I'm giving you the value, and you just have to work out what will be the current in each branch. Is it clear? Then you may have a circuit which is a combination of series and parallel, a mixed circuit. So if you have a combination of the series and parallel circuit, example, this is a lamp. Why the last one is divided into 1.5 and 0.5? Why not 1 and 1? Because I consider these lamps are not identical. I consider these lamps are different. If lamps are different, they have different properties, they have different resistance. That's why the current will divide unequal. If the lamps are identical, like if L2 and L3 are identical, same type of lamp, if this was having 1 ampere, then this will also have 1 ampere. So the division of the current, the distribution of the current in a branch depends on another quantity which is called resistance, and that you can work out by calculation. So if the lamps are identical, it will divide equally. If lamps are not identical, then it will be unequal division of the current. Is it clear? Then example, you have two lamps, identical lamps. Identical means like they have the same properties, made up of same material, they have the same resistance as well. So we have a combination of series and parallel, like lamp 1 and lamp 2 are parallel, and lamp 3 is connected in series to them. This is the actual circuit symbol for the lamp or the bulb. So example, 6 ampere is entering the circuit. The two lamps are identical, same type of lamps. What will be the current in each lamp? If two lamps are identical, current in each lamp. So because they are identical, so equal division will be there, 6 ampere. So it will divide into 3 ampere and 3 ampere, equal. Then what will be the current in lamp 3? How much current will enter lamp 3? So it will be 6 ampere. 6 ampere is the current which enter lamp 3. And how much current will return back? So same 6 ampere will return back. So total number of the charges which enter the circuit is same as total number of the charges leave the circuit. So if we want to measure the current in the circuit, we can use ammeter, and ammeters are always connected in series to the component measuring the current. And the circuit symbol for ammeter, it is a circle with letter A. So a circle with letter A, that means ammeter. And whenever we want to measure a current in any component, we always connect ammeter in series. So example, the first circuit, this is the first circuit. I want to measure current in battery. So if I want to measure the current in battery, so where I should connect an ammeter, I should always connect ammeter in series to the component. So it can be before and after, it does not make difference. So I can connect after the battery or I can connect before. So this is a position of ammeter, that ammeter 1, A1. If I want to measure the current in L1, so where I should place, so ammeter should be before or after, like it's up to you. You can connect after or you can connect before, but it should always be in series. So example, if this is ammeter A only, and the second one is ammeter A1, so this will be A1. If I want to measure the current in lamp 2, so I can connect before or after, that will be A2. And if I want to measure the current in lamp 3, so that can be before or after. But this circuit does not require too many ammeters. Why? Because we know what is the current. If we know the current in the circuit, we can identify what will be the current in each component. So even one ammeter is enough to connect in this circuit and measure the current in the component, because the current will be same. Same way, if we have a parallel circuit like lamp 1, lamp 2, and lamp 3, and I want to measure the current in lamp 1, lamp 2, and lamp 3. So where I should connect, you can use a screen annotation. Where should be ammeter? First one, if you want to measure current in battery. So we can connect before or after if you want to measure the current in the battery. Even you can place it afterwards as well. Here you can also place, that will be correct. And if you want to measure current in lamp 2, where should be the ammeter? Lamp 2, not L1, L2. So it can be before or after. Is it clear? Same way, we have lamp 1, lamp 2, and lamp 3, and I want to connect ammeter to measure current in L3. Use the screen annotation to mention the position of ammeter. So ammeter can be before or after the component. And if I want to measure the total current in the circuit, so if I want to measure the total current in the circuit, so ammeter will be before or after. Now, there are two types of the current. One is known as DC or direct current. Another one is known as AC or alternating current. In short, you can say AC. What is a direct current? The direct current does not change the direction and flow in one way. And what is alternating current? This current continuously changes the direction and flow in both ways. Example, and how we show a AC supply or a DC supply. Like example, if we have a lamp and we have a DC current, direct current in the circuit, cells and batteries are also DC supplies because the direction of the current does not change. Here I do a battery. So this is a positive terminal, negative. So what happens? The current, if it is moving from positive to negative, it will continue to flow only in one way. If the current is having only one direction in the circuit, that type of current is known as DC. But what happens in AC? The current has multiple ways to flow, like both ways it flow. So these are the two circuits, separate circuit with AC supply. How you will draw an AC supply means a supply which provide you electricity. So the symbol for AC supply, the circles, and just make a wave between them. You can make it horizontal, this wave, or you can make it vertical. Even you can show the wave other way around. So you can draw like this as well. Both are correct. Now what happened? First, left hand side will be positive, right hand side is negative. Then the current start to flow from positive to negative. Then what happened? By itself, this device, this supply will change its terminal. Now the positive side will be, this happened by itself. Now the positive side will be on the right and the negative side will be on the left, and the current start to flow in opposite direction. Why the AC supply changes its direction? Because the way it is produced, that is responsible for changing its direction, and you will learn this why an AC supplies are changing their directions. So right now I'm not going in detail why there is a change in direction, but just remember, whenever you have an alternating current, the direction of the current is not fixed because the direction of the terminal is not fixed. Same thing if you have another circuit, first left hand side positive, right hand side negative, so the current start to flow from positive to negative. Then the terminal by itself changes. Now the positive terminal will be on right hand side and negative terminal on the left hand side, so the current will change its direction of the current is from positive to negative, but because the terminal of the battery changes, so as the terminal of the battery changes, the direction of the current will also change. So AC supplies, it is continuously changing the direction and the terminals, but for DC supply, the direction of the terminal and the flow remain unchanged. Is it clear? The difference between AC and DC? So electric current is the rate of flow of the charges. If you want to find the current, current is charge divided by time. And we can measure the current by ammeter. This is how the ammeter looks. This ammeter maximum can measure 1. You can see the maximum value it can measure. And this ammeter maximum it can measure 30. The symbol, the circuit symbol which we use for ammeter, that is a circle with letter A. And ammeters are always connected in series. Calculate the current. What is the current in 10 seconds? 60 coulomb of the charge flow. What is the current? Because the current is charge divided by time, so 60 divided by 10. So 60 divided by 10, that's equal to 6 ampere. Another question. A current of 150 milliampere, milli, keep this in mind, it's milliampere. Flow in 3 minutes, time is in minutes. How much electrical charge you need Q? What is the answer for this? Q is equals to I multiplied by T. Charge current multiplied by. But keep in mind this is in milliampere and time is in minutes. What's the final answer for this? First, to convert 150 milli to ampere, you should divide by 1000. So it will be 0.15 ampere. And time is in minutes. You have to convert into seconds. So multiply by 60. So 3 multiplied by 60, that is equals to 180 seconds. So it will be 27. So unit conversion is always important when you're solving a question. And 27 coulombs will, the unit is coulomb for the charge. Is it clear, this second example? Then how these devices are working, the components are working. For working of the device, the charges should flow. Basically what the charges are doing, like you have a battery. From a battery, the charges are coming out. Say this is a charge. This circle is representing a charge. So this charge is coming out. And this charge flow through a component. You have a lamp. So basically charges are the carrier which are transferring or carrying the energy. So example, what happened, you have one charge, say electron, actually electron is from, in reality electron will move from negative to positive, but we are taking a conventional current. So what this charge will have, this charge will have energy, example 3 joules of energy. Before entering this component, it will have 3 joules, but when it passes through, it will have 0 joules of electrical energy. The kinetic will be there, but it does not have energy to transfer. So what happened, when the charges are coming out from the battery, they're actually transferring their energy to the component, so that if this was a lamp, so the lamp will light up. And then same charge, this 0 joule of energy means 0 joule of electrical energy, means it does not have any energy to transfer. It has kinetic energy to return back, but it does not have any energy to transfer. So basically what happened, when the charges enter the circuit, they have energy. when they passes through the component, they transfer their energy and return back. The movement of the charge is called current, but the energy which the charge carry, what we call that as voltage. So voltage is basically, it is energy carried by the charge. And when the charge get energy from the battery by a chemical reaction, if the charge get energy due to a chemical reaction, what we call that as EMF. And when the charge transfer energy, what we call that as potential difference, or in short you can say PD. So here the charge, when it is coming out, the charge at this point 1, the charge is coming out from the battery, the charge carry energy. So why the charge carry energy? Because there is a chemical reaction inside the cell, and that is responsible for charge getting that energy. So when the charge get energy due to a chemical reaction, what we call this voltage, we call this as EMF. So EMF is 3 here. And you can see a 3 joule becomes 0 joule. So how much energy transferred by the charge? It transferred 3 joule. So how much energy the charge transfer? What we call that as potential difference. So energy which the charge get due to a chemical reaction from the cell or a battery, we call EMF. Energy transfer, we call that as potential difference. Both are refers to voltage. EMF is a voltage, potential difference is a voltage, but only how they are different from each other is only the way the charge get energy, we call EMF, electromotive force. Charge transfer energy, we call potential.